conservative new media viewers and JLin fans around the world. What's up? It's me, PFE, Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert, and we're here to talk about JLin has arrived in Taiwan for his 2013 tour of Asia. But first, I want to address a couple things, just kind of give you an update and make a couple of corrections for a few other things. The first thing is this. I haven't been able to do a video for Jeremy in about 2 weeks, and that's because my health just hasn't been good. Now, if you guys have watched some of the videos before last year, you know that was an issue for me. And what it is, it has to do with just like my breathing and my sinuses. It's something I've had trouble with before. And the last 6 weeks or so, it's been a lot worse. And I'm just going to keep working on it. In the meantime, I'm probably going to have to do fewer videos, or they might take longer to get done. I appreciate all the well wishes from Melody Ting and others. Hopefully you guys can just bear with me, and I will resolve it as quickly as I can, and hopefully permanently this time. Just have bad allergies, and the area that I live in is really bad for them, and just kind of crept up on me. I will be doing more Lin videos soon. In particular, there's been a few stories or few articles that have come out. I know Melody mentioned to me the second part of a 2-part series that was done by Rahat Hook of Red 94 blog. And I analyzed the first part of his series. I would like to get to that if I get the chance. There was another article, I don't remember who wrote it, about Jeremy a couple weeks ago I thought was really good. And in particular, I want to go over the recent Q&A interview that was done by Jason Friedman of Rockets.com. This was just a few days ago, and I thought it was really good. There's a whole bunch of information in that article. So if you haven't seen it, go to Rockets.com, go in their news section, and I can't remember what it's titled, but you'll see it's the most recent article. It's from like August 12th or something along those lines. And it's something like excited for future possibilities or something like this. And it's a long interview with Jeremy. And they go over a whole bunch of things. They go over about his health and where he was at now as compared with last year and all kinds of stuff. So it was very good. Jason did a really good job with the interview. I know a lot of people are happy about it. I've seen that on Clutch Fans and other places. And I definitely want to talk about that. Finally, I'm going to be going on a trip in about a week. So I'm going to be out of the mix for about 10 days, starting early or the middle of next week. So I might not be able to do anything regarding Jeremy during that period of time. I may be able to do something. I might not. I'm just not sure right now. So just expect that during that period of time, I might not be able to respond to anything that involves Jeremy. Hopefully I will, but I might not be able to. Finally, I wanted to correct a couple of things that I said in the video talking about Jeremy's Reloaded video. First of all, I said that at one point in the video, Jeremy is dribbling 2 different basketballs. Well, it turns out that one of them was a medicine ball rather than a basketball. That was the yellow ball, and that was something that was discussed by a commenter in the comment section of that video. Secondly, at the end of the video, there's a shot, a picture of a whole bunch of people shooting. And I said that one of those people was Jeremy, and I tried to identify which one it was. Well, it turns out that they're all Jeremy. It's a picture that was done a certain way, and all of those images are of Jeremy, with the effect being that Jeremy was working hard on his shooting, because you see him in different outfits and whatever it is, 10, 14 different pictures. And so the impression is that he's working hard on this. He's there in different outfits day after day, working at this over and over again. Somebody mentioned, I can't remember who it is, and I'm sorry. Somebody mentioned that I may have miscalculated the amount of weight that was on the shrug bar in the scene where Jeremy is doing basically a deadlift. And that's totally possible. I would actually have to go back and look at the original video and just go over that again. I just did a rough calculation. I thought it was about 300 pounds, but I certainly could have been wrong about that. Someone also mentioned that Jeremy was doing left-handed layups off of the wrong foot in some of the footage. Now, I thought I saw Jeremy doing the left-handed layups off of the proper foot, but I may be wrong about that. And he might have done both. There might have been scenes of him shooting both ways, off of the proper foot and off of the wrong foot. And as was also pointed out in the comments, guys will practice doing layups and other shots off of the quote-unquote wrong foot because it's a good strategy. If you're a defender, you expect the offensive player to shoot in a certain way, and that helps you with your timing. In other words, if a guy's coming in to shoot a left-handed layup, I expect him to jump off of his right foot, and I'm going to look for that so that I know when to set my feet and jump to try to block the shot. Well, if you're an offensive player and you jump off the wrong foot, then you have an advantage over the defender. And I didn't point that out, and it's a very good point, and I'm glad that it was brought up. That will give you an advantage because the defender does not expect that. And so guys do practice doing that. They do practice that so that they can get good at it and so that they can have another technique in their arsenal in order to put the defense or the defender on their heels and gain an advantage. So I'm glad that was pointed out. I did not explain that concept in the video, and it's certainly one that's worth pointing out. Finally on that video, Joey Lau, you asked me if I could summarize why I believe Jeremy's disliked by a lot of people. And I mentioned in the video that I didn't really want to talk about that. And I'll just say this. I think that it's for the reason that you would probably guess it is. That's probably the easiest way to say it. And it's if I'm right about that, it's not unique to Jeremy. This is something that happens in different circumstances, and it's just an unfortunate thing. It's just an unfortunate thing, but if it's what I think it is, then it can be a not great part of human nature. It's probably the easiest way to say it. So, look, I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I've seen a lot of things in making these videos and discussing Jeremy, and I don't think I'm wrong. Let's just put it that way. But I hope I'm wrong, and even if I'm right, hopefully things will change, and things can change. And I think that that's part of what is really good about Jeremy. I think that he can change perceptions, and hopefully that will take place, and we'll see. Okay, now let's get into Jeremy in Taiwan. As many of you already know, when I'm making this video, if you're in Taiwan or you're in Asia, Jeremy is in Taiwan right now as I make this video, and it is 6:30 a.m. early Wednesday, August 14th on the East Coast of the United States, which means it is 6:30 p.m. Wednesday, August 14th, early evening in Taipei, Taiwan. There are several articles which I'll give information for in the video description below the video player. All of them are from a news agency called Focus Taiwan, and they're very good. They did a great job. I think they were there when Jeremy arrived. They took at least one picture, maybe a couple pictures, I believe, and it was great. It's good that they were able to get the information. They mentioned that Jeremy is traveling with his younger brother, Joseph. Joseph goes to Hamilton College, which is in upstate New York. I actually know exactly where that is. It's near a city or town called Utica, which is several hours away from where I used to live in upstate New York, in Ithaca. Utica is known as a place to go for great deals on store items because they have an outlet mall there. So a lot of people go there for the outlet mall. Now, Hamilton College is not in Utica. It is in Clinton, New York, which is a little bit southwest of Utica, but it's close to Utica. Joseph is playing Division III basketball at Hamilton College, and so that's pretty cool. The Lin legacy continues in other basketball venues. Jeremy is also traveling with his parents. Now, I don't know if any of Jeremy's training staff went with him on this trip. I'm just not sure about that. You know, last year we heard about Jeremy's shooting coach going with him on the tour of Asia. I don't know if any of those personnel went with Jeremy for this trip. So that's something we'll have to get more information about, or maybe some of you guys know that are on the scene or in Taiwan or will be in China. Jeremy flew into the Taiwan airport. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, which is about 15 to 20 miles west of downtown Taipei. And as expected, Jeremy was greeted by a group of fans. Now, we're going to have to wait to hear from people that are from Taiwan, such as Hanny Chang. I believe you're in Taiwan. Shi Wei and Mei Chu, to find out if those guys got to get out to the airport and greet Jeremy. My guess is that the Jeremy Lin Garden fan club, which is, I believe, a Taiwanese fan club, was definitely probably well represented at that gathering for Jeremy's arrival in Taiwan, and that's awesome. I hope you guys got to get out there, and we'd love to hear about it. You know, let us know. Let us know what it was like if you got a chance to go there, or if you just get a chance to see Jeremy while he's in Taiwan or in China. According to Focus Taiwan, Jeremy got a chance to show off his Mandarin language skills for the fans, and also in a press conference that was held in Taipei after his arrival. Now, I believe Mandarin is the kind of main Chinese language for those that aren't familiar with Mandarin. Focus Taiwan also mentioned that Chandler Bieber Parsons is going to be coming to Taiwan as well to hang out with Jeremy, and I think Bieber is coming in on this Saturday, August 17th. That'll be awesome. That'll be great. Also, new JLin teammate, NBA superstar Dwight Howard, is going to be going to Taiwan on Tuesday, August 19th, according to Focus Taiwan. Focus Taiwan wasn't sure if Dwight Howard was going to be spending time with Jeremy while they're both there in Taiwan, but my guess would be yes. If I was Dwight Howard and I was going to Taiwan and Jeremy Lin was in Taiwan, I would definitely be spending time with him. So my thinking is that will probably happen. Jeremy's going to be holding a basketball camp in Taiwan from August 18th through August 20th, according to the article. And he is set to participate in an evangelical event on Sunday, August 18th. I believe that will probably be something like what I think happened last year, which is Jeremy sharing a testimony. And I think that was talked about in Jason Friedman's article. I think Jeremy mentioned that he basically writes down everything that's happened to him or important events from the previous year and then talks about them in his testimony. So I know a lot of people will be looking forward to that. Last year, that was captured on video, and hopefully that'll be able to be repeated this year. I'm thinking that will probably be the case. Focus Taiwan also says that Jeremy will be going to China, will be leaving for China from Taiwan next Wednesday on August 21st. As I mentioned, Jeremy was able to speak some in Mandarin, and they said that he definitely had been working on it, and the reporters could tell that, I believe. And they said that Jeremy actually had a list of vocabulary words with him, like, written down so he could kind of like say different things and say different phrases, which is great. I mean, clearly he's working on it, and anybody that's learned any foreign language can tell you that's how it goes. You need to carry a list around. You need to work on it constantly. So it's good that it's good to see that Jeremy's doing that. It was mentioned in another article by also Focus Taiwan that Jeremy hasn't ruled out the possibility of playing for the Taiwanese national basketball team, and I think to try to help them in FIBA competition. FIBA is the, I can't remember what it actually stands for, the individual letters. That's an acronym, but it's basically international basketball. And they mentioned that Taiwan is trying to, or would like to, qualify for further rounds of FIBA competition or their tournament. And so it's possible Jeremy could take part in that, although he didn't commit to that. Excuse me. Another article mentions that Jeremy, the movie Linsanity, will be opening up in Taiwan in October. This upcoming October 2013, basically 2 months away. And that is the same time when it will be opening in the United States. Now, as most of you know, Houston, the Rockets will be visiting Asia in early October of this year. They're going to take on the Indiana Pacers in 2 different exhibition games. The first of those exhibition games is going to take place on October 10th, 2013 in Manila. And then the second, Manila being in the Philippines, of course, the second of those 2 games is going to take place in Taipei. So Jeremy will be back in Taiwan in early October, and that game's going to take place on October 13th. I believe Hanny Chang has told us that she's going to see that game, and that'll be a lot of fun for a lot of people over there. And certainly it seems as though Jeremy's going to be on the roster at that time. So that should really be even more fun for the people that are going to get to see Jeremy now. They get to see him now, and they get to see him back with Houston and with the new team, including Dwight Howard, in just a couple of months. I believe that Jason Friedman, in the question and answer interview, said that Jeremy's trip to Asia is going to be about a month long. And he pointed out, or Jeremy actually said, that he's got various things he has to accomplish there. I think he's got to do a photo shoot or various photo shoots. I think he's got to do different things for his sponsors. Obviously, he's going to be holding the basketball camp. He's going to be attending this evangelical service. Jeremy's a busy guy. I mean, again, I know that Jeremy has, I believe, at least 4 sponsors: Gatorade, Nike, Volvo, and Kentucky Fried Chicken. So, these guys have a lot of work they do. They got to shoot commercials. They've got to do all kinds of stuff, and it can be time-consuming. It's not nothing. It takes time to do these things, and each sponsor wants what they want. They want photographs. They want to shoot commercials and have them go just right. They want you to do promotional events, and that takes a lot of time. So I do not know exactly when Jeremy is scheduled to come back to the United States. I don't know. I don't know the date of that. If this thing is supposed to take, if this trip is supposed to take about a month, then, you're talking basically September 14th. I really don't know the answer of when he'll be back. Maybe some of you guys know that, or maybe we'll just learn more as the trip unfolds. Okay, a couple more things. I like to tell you guys about different sources to get information about Jeremy. Want to add another source to that, and that is the Gospel Herald of China. If you look up Jeremy often in Google News, and we do, then you've probably already come upon this source. It's a relatively new source, or it's a relatively recent entry into Google News, but they do a very good job. They do a really good job. They just kind of, anything having to do with Jeremy or any particular outstanding story, they'll usually have something about it. So I would recommend that you look them up. Again, it's the Gospel Herald of China, and they're very good. Certainly, obviously, Focus Taiwan also does a good job, as they had multiple stories out tonight when Jeremy arrived in Taiwan earlier. Again, I'm looking forward to hearing from people that are in Taiwan that are going to get a chance to see Jeremy. Let us know. Come do the comments. Tell us what's up. Again, we all want the information. We all want to share in the experience, and just, sharing your guys' happiness. It's going to be a lot of fun to see Jeremy. Hopefully have a chance to interact with him a little bit or talk to him, and we want to hear about it. I know there was a lot of fun times last year. I got to see different pictures on different sites and people teasing people about, I can't remember who it was, but, one girl was, reaching out to touch Jeremy, and all these people were like doing still shots, and you did this and you touched him here. And it was just hilarious. It was all in good fun, but it seemed like a lot of fun for everybody that was involved. So that was great. Again, we're of course looking very much forward to this upcoming season. In the article and the interview with Jason Friedman points out, and I'll go over this more when I do a video about the article itself. Friedman points out that people who were at the mini camp in LA for the informal mini camp for the Houston players, they said, yeah, Jeremy's never looked stronger, and I believe they also said he's never looked quicker. That's right. That's right. Why? Because he's working at it, number one, and number two, he's healthy now. There's a reason why he was better towards the end of the season, and that reason was that he finally got his leg strength back. He finally had his knee healthy, as we've talked about over and over again. I don't think that really happened for him until March of 2013, and then you started seeing steady improvement in his physical ability. We saw improvement before that in terms of the three-point shooting. But I think in terms of his physical ability, you really started seeing more of the real Jeremy around that time. And now with a full off season to train, and you can see how hard he's been training from the Reloaded video, I think you're going to see, and I think his teammates are seeing, yeah, the guy that more of what we saw in New York before he got hurt. And honestly, even a better version of that. Jeremy knows more now. He's more skilled now. He's had more time to work on things. Again, he's not going to be a finished product this upcoming year. It doesn't work like that. Steve Nash wasn't Steve Nash at age 25. It doesn't happen that way. You've got to work at it. But I think you're going to see an improved Jeremy. And the team is going to be improved. So it's a very exciting time. If you're a Jeremy Lin fan, if you're a Houston Rockets fan, this is a very, very great time. Look, I've been a Houston Rockets fan since the early 80s, mid-80s. right around the time when Akeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler were graduating from the University of Houston, right at the end of Moses Malone's stint with Houston. The best time being a Houston Rockets fan was the mid-90s, of course, with the title teams. This is about as excited as I've been as a Houston fan since then. And, I mean, there were times I loved Yao, and I loved the Tracy McGrady and Yao teams, and Yao could have been incredible if he didn't get hurt. But overall, looking at the entire roster, the entire landscape on the NBA, this is a very exciting time for Houston. Incredibly exciting. So this should be a fun year. Hopefully everybody can stay healthy, and it's going to really be a lot of fun. Finally, Jeremy is going to turn 25 years old on August 23rd, which is just 9 days away. And I believe that he will be in China during that time. So we say to Jeremy and to his family, happy birthday, man. You've had a great run, and I think this is just the beginning. And as we've pointed out in several recent videos, and as Jeremy himself mentioned in the interview with Jason Friedman, I think Jeremy is focused properly. I think Jeremy really does want to live his life for God. And I think that, again, if you're focused that way, and I've been very religious at various points in my life, and have become more so recently. It's a very calming effect. It's a very peaceful place to be. And the more that you can kind of allow your mind and kind of surrender to God and what He wants you to do, so to speak, it's very liberating. It's very joyful. And so I think Jeremy, his life is becoming more settled, as we've talked about. He's healthy. He's made the money that he needs to make. Now he can just live his life. He can go and share testimony. He can go and give back, and he can play the game that he loves and do it for God. And so I think he's in a very good place mentally. And again, this is still the early part of the journey. He's still learning. He's still growing, but it's good. Yeah, as we talk about his birthday here and stuff, I'm very happy for him. I think that I think things are going to go well for him, and I'm happy for him. He's worked through a tremendous amount of stuff to get to where he is, and so I'm thankful for him, and I'm grateful for him and his family. I'm happy for them that they've been able to get to this place. I think that his family, his parents have done a great job raising him, and it's good to see good people rewarded. So I'm happy that fortune has shone down upon them. So good for them. Okay, your comments below. Thumbs up, thumbs down on this video. Once again, I am PFV, Paul Villarreal, the NBA expert. We encourage you to come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group. You'll find information for that in the video description below the video player. That group has over 2,500 members and growing. Thanks a lot for watching Conservative New Media. Again, there will be more Jeremy Lin information to come. And I forgot to say this earlier. I said that it was 6:30 a.m. here in the United States and 6:30 p.m. in Taiwan. For F. Paul, I know I told you I'd do the Central European time. I can't. I think it's like 6 hours ahead. So maybe it's like 12:30 or 12:45 p.m. now in Central Europe. Something close to that. Sorry, I know that's not exact. Maybe it's 11:45 a.m. instead. Again, more videos to come soon. Hope everybody is having a great summer in the Northern Hemisphere. It's starting to wind down here, or a manageable winter in the Southern Hemisphere. If you live in Australia like Melody Ting and others, or if you live in South America, or if you live in Africa. Take care. We will talk to you again soon. Finally, I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to respond to as many comments as I usually would. As I said, that's just kind of a function of my little health issues right now. But I read everything, as you guys know, and I will respond to as many as I can. Thanks for understanding. Talk to you again soon.